Hello, Wolfden. My name is Voltorn Elda, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney. It is time to cross-examine in the first court case. We have the inspector over here. I think everything updated with him. There he is, Just Valerti, a grumpy war veteran turned police inspector. This guy is as strict and law-abiding as they come, a true goody two-shoes. And we have our Judge Maxime, one of the longest-serving judges in France. Judge Maxime is known for being attentive and even-handed. And we have Mr. Rabington, the prosecution, a stuttering and jumpy prosecutor who bumbles through cases on nothing but sheer dumb luck. He has 2 to 4 rabbit feet, so yeah, he kinda has an advantage in that regard. Either way, it is time to start the cross-examination, so yeah, let's get started. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Oh, that's a problem. That is in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games, you could press every single little pointless detail. It would bring some fun conversation topics from time to time, sometimes extra information, and most of the time it was completely worthless. So yeah, I think I'm gonna mess up. Select a statement to question. Okay, so we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rorgueil. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caterline. She was standing over the sliced open corpse of Monsieur Grenouille with blood on her paws. I want to know more about the whole blood on her paws stuff. Inspector, you say Dame Caterline had blood on her paws? Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Whose blood was it? Ha! What a question! It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course. How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. No, it's not, because I'm already making a connection to a certain piece of evidence we have. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Catherline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Grenouille. Judge, Falcon is trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille? Yes, I do. Because Dame Caterline had been eating. One of the things was a red herring, the other a steak, a bloody rare steak at the banquet. There was no cutlery, so she must have eaten it with her paws. I'm smart! I do have a reason, yeah. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Caterline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time wasting. Falcon. If the blood on Dame Caterline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? It came from the bloody rare steak. On the evening of the murder, Dame Caterline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Rabington? Well, in a matter of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu? Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Wait, don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No! Yup, Remington, you're in trouble. Intriguing. Pretty convincing. You get a little favor with the jury. Oh dear. Wait, is this a court system where the jury makes the eventual decision on what happens? Whether the suspect is guilty or not? Oh, that might be troublesome. Because we can lose that favor with the jury as quickly as we just gained it. So, Inspector Valerti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater?
Now hold on just 1 minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Caterline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. Well, I'm not an animal, but I keep my fork in my right hand and my knife in my left hand. Well, I'm right-handed, and that is not something a lot of people do. I am a weird eater, definitely. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners?
Oh, that is a good question. Or at least, it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Caterline to eat with her paws. It was the cutlery! Dame Caterline was forced to eat steak with her paws because... hello? Yes? Hi? I just did that. There we go. The silverware of the household had been previously stolen.
Stolen?
I don't recall any mention of that in the police report.
We weren't aware of anything missing from Rorgueil's residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Rorgueil approached us about this very subject last night.
I don't trust him! Innocent, perhaps. What a twist! You are more favor with the jury. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you that I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all.
Oh dear.
Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case.
Ouch.
Sorry?
Fine. So be it. Messieurs, until next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon Monsieur Robinio, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder.
Monsieur Robinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom doesn't immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robinio, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. T'es un pipe. You may have seen my work in hit magazines, Le Branche or Seshoot. I can send you tweets if you like.
Tweets? Really? What on earth is a tweet? First the Facebook, then the tweets? Something is foul here.
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Robinio. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rorgueil to capture the evening's events. I arrived at the 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rorgueil and left. Like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourself. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look.
Fake! I call fake! I call fake! Definitely calling fake. Also, look, there are arms on the clock. This is an old photograph.
My word, that is an exquisite picture, isn't it? Let's see, who do we have here? In the middle we see Baron Rorgueil, the lion who hosted the event. On the left we see Seigneur Pertois de Miao, the father of the defendant, Dame Caterline. And finally we see the housemaid, Colleen Duord, but who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille, and the second is the defendant, Dame Caterline de Miao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree?
Just a moment, Monsieur Remington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Falcon, I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue.
Behind the photograph subject, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Follardy told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Caterline herself. Hey, Falcon, that photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different from the one we borrowed from Robinio's studio.
Yeah, good thing we did that. I see it too. Yes, our photograph shows Colleen Duord, Dame Caterline and Seigneur Pertois. However, Monsieur Robinio's photograph shows Baron Rorgueil where Dame Caterline should be standing. If we assume that only one photograph was taken, and this demonstrates that one of the photographs must have been edited in some way.
You should just slam that evidence down, be like, BAM! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom is out of order, case closed!
I don't think that works like that, and also I can't do that. You can't yell in court and shout, OBJECTION!
Well, I suppose you could be a little more delicate with your words.
No, I mean, I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained.
Yeah, that too.
If I were to present it, Monsieur Robinio would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail. In a worst case scenario, I could lose my legal license and we would be arrested for theft.
And go to prison.
I told you it was illegal.
Oh, well, we don't want that.
No, we don't. I should tread lightly. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, the defense may proceed. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. But the cross-examination starts. Well, I arrived at 7 PM, I set up my camera, captured the body and beauty of the evening's events in one magnificent photograph, then I built Baron Rorgueil and left. I don't know. I think I need to ask about the time in this case. Because there are no hands on the clock. So could he have known that it was 7 PM? I might lose some points here, but let's ask that one. Monsieur Robinio, you said that you arrived at 7 o'clock? Give or take a couple of minutes, yes. How do you know?
How do you know that you arrived at 7?
Well, the clock in my house reads 6:45 when I left, and the walk to Chateau Crinière was about 50 minutes. I don't claim to be a flawless timekeeper, but I am a professional. I always stick to an appointment.
Yes. I have another question about it. How long did it take you to set up?
It took perhaps 25 minutes to find a shooting location, put together the camera and ready the film.
Okay, so you arrived at 7. Photograph took place at 7:30 and you spent 25 minutes setting up. At least 5 minutes unaccounted for.
Falcon, surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Robinio did something nefarious in this small window of time?
No, I am not. There is no way that Monsieur Robinio could have done this. Not at all, I'm just trying to piece together the evening's events.
I spent a little time walking with Baron Rorgueil when I arrived. That's probably where the rest of the time went.
Yes? Never mind. Oh, I have no more questions about the arrival time. Yeah. He captured the beauty of the evening. He set up the camera in the room. He must have seen the clock there. Ooh. Curious one. I also maybe should ask about the photograph. I don't want to ask too many questions. I'm worried about that. I'm gonna ask about the camera. I would like to ask about the camera itself.
Go on.
How exactly does it work? Should we ask that? Can a camera ever make mistakes? That's a good question. It's probably gonna be a no.
Now there's a question only an imbecile, technophobic Philistine could ask. No, monsieur, the camera is a flawless device. My photographs offer a perfect reflection of the reality. Nothing more, nothing less.
Objection. So if there were any inconsistencies between the photograph and reality, what would that imply?
An odd question. I don't think such a thing could ever be possible.
But if one were to see such a thing...
Falcon, stop dancing around the point and tell us what you're trying to get at.
There is a mistake in the photograph. Definitely. I see a mistake in the photograph.
A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps could you be more specific?
Certainly. Yeah, I believe this is the mistake. The thing that's mistaken is the clock itself. The clock in this photograph, there is something not right about it.
Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client.
Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rabbington. I have evidence that there is something wrong with the clock in that picture. And the evidence is the clock that has no hands. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6.
That much is self-evident?
Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crinière has no hands.
It has no hands?
The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rorgueil or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Robinio, how do you explain this discrepancy?
Yes, how do you do that? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. It's supernatural.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process?
An error precisely where the clock's hands should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinio, edited this photograph.
Edited?
I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock.
No, I don't think that.
I don't think that. I think... well, I don't really know, to be honest. We're gonna figure that out. This is not what happened, I believe. It would have been a simple task considering that the clock's face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Yes?
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Robinio created a perfect alibi. Didn't you? Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinio coerced? Bribed? Threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Robinio.
Fine, you got me. I'm guilty. I did it all.
You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille?
What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock.
You were ordered? By whom?
I dare not say.
This lion tale will have this lion story will have a tail attached to it, I think. Monsieur Robinio, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's questions. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all.
With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws! Did you hear that, Falcon?
Oh, yes, I did. That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robinio, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course.
I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failures as an artist. Good day, messieurs.
Yeah, definitely intriguing and pretty convincing. Definitely. I'm doing good with the favor of the jury.
So, the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Caterline and as absent close to the time of the murder. That is significant.
Don't be danced, Monsieur Remington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events.
Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Caterline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Seigneur Perchois de Meow him, perhaps?
No, it was the bloody lion. I don't think so. The housemaid lacks any means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Seigneur Perchois to implicate his own daughter.
Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Rorgueil deliberately tried to frame Dame Caterline?
Yes, I am implying that.
Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Monsieur Remington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That is the job of you, the prosecutor. However, perhaps I should offer my opinion?
But Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor. And yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that is fine. Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections? No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening.
Oh, okay. Baron Rorgueil, on the night of the...
The initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Caterline followed behind him moments later. Objection! That is in error with the previous statement from Mr. Robinio. Seigneur Pertois, Monsieur Robinio, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemate left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Caterline. That would be when I heard her cry for help.
Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there.
I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well then. Hit me with your best shots. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Rorgueil, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Oh yes, we are definitely gonna do that.
And the statement we're gonna question is the dinner went You were missing cutlery! How did that go magnificently? How? I'm afraid of asking too many stupid questions. Baron Rorgueil, I would like to ask about the dinner you served that evening. Very well, ask away. Regarding the red herring, what is up with the red herring? Regarding the stolen cutlery. Earlier today we established that silverware was stolen from your residence prior to the banquet. Indeed. I am aware of whom the culprit is, but I have decided not to press charges. It is curious then that you decided to serve steak. It isn't what one would describe as finger food after all.
I don't know about that, Falcon. With the right attitude, all food can be finger food.
I agree with that. There is nothing curious about it. Seigneur Pertois and Dame Caterline are vocal lovers of rare steak. I was merely suiting their needs.
Besides, what other choice did the Baron have, Falcon? Serve vegetable broth like an uncommon peasant?
Oh, do be quiet, prosecutor. You sound ridiculous.
Sorry, Baron. Yeah?
What about the red herring? Now, about this red herring. Yes, what about it? I'm not sure, but I feel there's a vital importance to the case. It's a red herring. It has nothing to do with the case. It says in the name.
Falcon, I just want to clarify this. Are you saying that you wish to pursue the red herring?
Oh my god. For those of you who don't know what the red herring is all about, it's supposed to be a plot device that is being chased, but which has nothing to do with the actual case at all. Like, what would be a good red herring? Let's say there's a bloodied knife on the table. But the true murder weapon was a gun. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know fully how to explain it. I think you guys might have already known about it. Either way, let's continue. I want to pursue the red herring. No, I'm not an idiot. No, on second thought, I suspect the red herring may be a diversion. I'll leave it alone for now. That's a good call. The joke was starting to wear thin. No, it was not starting to wear thin. I do have another question about the diner. No, never mind. Let's choose a different topic. I want to know about Dame Caterline followed behind a few moments later. This is true, the housemaid did discover the pair. About Monsieur Grenouille. Baron Rorgueil, I have some questions about Monsieur Grenouille. God rest his soul. What was your relation to Monsieur Grenouille? You were business partners, right? We were business partners. Monsieur Grenouille, Seigneur Pertois de Miao, and myself, I'll allow the third share in an up-and-coming railway company. Excuse the crassness of this question, but that means that you and Seigneur Pertois would now own half of the company each, correct? Correct. I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But, monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Grenouille and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing. Of course. Yes, I do have more questions. Why did he visit the garden? Why did Monsieur Grenouille leave to visit the garden? I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear. Yeah, raw meat and a frog, not a good combination. Oh, I see, but that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it? How so? Well, Monsieur Grenouille felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived, and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness.
Hold on, Falcon. Surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Grenouille's food was poisoned in some way?
No, I'm not. I think. I'm not, it's raw meat, and I don't think that frogs eat raw steak. No, there's nothing to indicate poisoning. I just found the timing somewhat puzzling. There is nothing puzzling about it. Monsieur Grenouille always had a soft stomach. There's really no surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak. Not at the moment. I really don't want to make any statements on things that have nothing to do with anything at all. So what should we ask further on in that case? I think about the garden, maybe. Also, something I'm only now realizing. That cigarette butt in the fountain, yeah, it belongs to Mr. Lion over here. Baron, we saw the murder scene, your garden for ourselves. What's with all the horses? It is a question I would love to ask, but I think I'm gonna do that in a separate playthrough, not recording or anything like that, where I'm just gonna go through all the silly options, which also I would encourage you guys to do, because, yeah, this game is awesome, I love it. I'm gonna stick to the questions that are relevant to the case. When was the last time you visited the garden? Baron Rorgueil, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. I doubt that. Years, you say? Indeed. That's not right. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Like, if that fountain had been cleaned in all those years, that cigarette butt would have been removed. Oh? And why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you visited the garden recently. Balderdash! My word is gold! Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden. It's a cigarette butt. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigarette butt? That could belong to anybody, and... Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Okay. Sorry, Baron. That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. Oh, so now you're clean of all the allergies? But naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. And that could make sense, but I still don't trust it. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin.
You see, Falcon, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience.
And a little paddling.
Shut up, Sparrowson, I still have wet boots.
Do we wear boots?
Possibly not. The cigar butt was not dropped, it was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. And that is that you, Baron Rorgueil, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Rorgueil, murdered Monsieur Grenouille. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen.
That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegations is baseless. You have no evidence, no means, motive, or opportunity.
No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Remington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Rorgueil as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are as sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Robinio confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. This is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something. Object. Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So, out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Signor Pertois de Miao, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Caterline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage. Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there is only one outrage here. That is, that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You are a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, garçon? The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I am nothing like the fat cat bourgeoisie. I am respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you are a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp. I ought to gut you right here and right now like Monsieur Grenouille. Like a damned frog. Well, thank you for that. Any questions? Who Would someone please restrain the Baron?
I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man, to the conciergerie with you.
Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw! I can walk myself. Well then, this is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add?
Well, in a matter of speaking, well, to be honest, no.
Then I shall confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time.
Falcon, that was pretty incredible.
Thank you. I just hope it was good enough.
What do you mean? You just proved Caterline's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure.
Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system.
What's that?
I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It is just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Caterline's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty.
I'm not sure that I understand the difference.
It's up to the jury to decide whether she's guilty or not guilty. In this case, we're safe, because I did pretty good, but we have reached a decision. In light of recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Caterline de Miao, to be not guilty. Victory! Not guilty. Perfect first case. Not guilty.
Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson, you did it.
Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we?
We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly.
Sounds like a good idea.
You did it, Falcon.
I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement.
I'm so proud of you both. I'll go get one of the bottles of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon.
Oh, it was nothing.
I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius.
Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case.
Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. The case is over.
Play coy?
Don't tell me you're actually being sincere.
I'm completely lost.
Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually didn't know? Alright, I'll spell it out for you.
Okay. What are you gonna spell out for us?
I murdered Monsieur
What?
I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized the opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand?
What? What? Okay. I did not see that one coming. Oh my god. Oh my god.
To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link.
Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Rorgueil's cigar butt hidden in the garden.
Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Robinio's photograph was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Grenouille in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Robinio to paint me over Baron Rorgueil and to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering either photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly.
Oh, it went extremely badly. Oh, you can't be serious about this. Oh my god. I hope you're joking. I really, really hope you're joking.
What's with the silence? Shouldn't you both be proud?
Not really. No.
There aren't many lawyers in the world, in the whole of France, who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeoisie kitty like me.
Yeah. Winning isn't everything. Anyway, we are way over time. My apologies for that. I have a feeling that the moment this scene ends, we are starting with case number 2, which is instantly going to start. And I would like to keep that for a full episode. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna end today's episode over here. Anyway, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Have a very nice day. And remember, have fun.
It goes to show that a pretty face doesn't always tell the whole story. I'm really expecting Dame Caterline to smile and say it was a joke, but I fear she might be telling the truth. So much for defending the innocent.